GunGrave is a franchise that was started in 2002 with the release of the first game on the PS2. It looked a little something like this, a cel-shaded styled piece. Then in 2003, that warranted its own anime. This led to a sequel in 2004 called GunGrave Overdose, also on the PS2. And then we had nothing for over a decade, because in 2018, we got a really bad VR game. This led to 4 years, and where we are now, GunGrave G.O.R.E. GunGrave G.O.R.E is a third-person action arcade shooter. I have never heard these words come out of my mouth before this. This was built around levels and stages being short. It's about 30 of them. Each one of them is about 7 to 10 minutes long, depending if you're going for S ranks or not. And your job to get through that stage is use your weapons and your skill to get as high as a combo and score as you possibly can. To do this, the weapons you have are the Cerberus pistols, which I don't quite understand why they're called the Cerberus pistols, because there's only 2 of them. They are seemingly infinite ammo generators, and they packed about as much punch as a Nerf dart, actually. Then on the back, you have the Crip, which is actually called the Death Hauler, because you hauled death. We're getting there, boys. We're getting the edginess. With these weapons, you can shoot, you can melee, and you can even parry if it decides to let you do that. Now for every system that this game has, and this is gonna be a while, we have the beats. This is your combo meter. It just literally counts how many shots that hit every moving and non-moving target, because destroying the environment also counts towards your beats meter, because we don't call it a combo meter anymore, I guess. And it also gives you little nice titles like Reaper. It tries to be Devil May Cry. If you get in a high enough beat count, you get a demolition point. Then with the demolition points, you spend those demolition points to use a demolition shot. These vary between level 1, 2, and 3, and they use a corresponding level. Like a level 3 demolition shot takes 3 demolition points to do. So you locked out of using them for the first bit of the game because you need to level up. This varies in the amount of damage and what the shot actually does, because some of them are like a rail cannon, some are shoot down missiles, some are a giant cannon itself. All this does is amplify how much damage they do, and they regain your health. That is not all. We also have the artist points for maximum edge. Everyone who's killed with a demolition adds to your artist score. You also get an artist score depending on how many enemies you execute, by dragging them over to you with the Q button, or just eating and shooting their face off. It looks really stupid. After that, at the end of the score, you get a rating, and the rating system goes all the way up to S, starting at D. The rating system I have a little bit of a problem with, because it seems that if you get an A rank in everything but one, you get a B. Your rank for the entire level is a B. Not most games do that. They would give you the sum. They would give you the A. It's like if you get, in Resident Evil 5, if I got S, A, S, 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 A, I would get an S rank, but I want to get the perfect S. Almost forgot. At the end of that, you get DNA points. This is what we use to level up. The screen looks a little something like this. It's a bit of a thing. I don't understand. Some of it seems counterintuitive. Like, why would you level up bullet damage if you're trying to drag out combos as long as forever? But if you don't level up bullet damage, well, goddamn, bosses are just gonna be the worst time of your entire life. Now for my favorite part of this game that has become my most anticipated thing. Every time we get to a cutscene, the sound design and the voice acting in this game is some of the best, worst things I have ever experienced. I love it to death. Let's start with the sound design. The hauler and the guns do not sound heavy. They do not sound big. They do not sound like they're doing glass. Listen to this from the PS2 game. They sound like literal goddamn cannons, and you can feel the Death Hauler's weight. Using this game, the damn Death Hauler feels like wet cardboard, and our guns actually comparatively sound like they're Nerf versions of what they were in the first game. That's not my favorite part, though. My favorite part's the voice acting. We get some gnarly jobs, like from Brittany Lauda.
Information, baby. There's an unknown facility beyond the seed refinery. Check for yourself if you really want to. But waste no time. What I'm telling you are facts.
I hope I'm saying that right. She does Quartz. I'm pretty sure they got a real voice actor for Quartz because she's your character that actually talks most of the entire game. And she was also on the JoJo character. She was Foo Fighters, so we can't hate on her. But what I can laugh at is the man who played Zell. Listen to this. This is the best.
Wait, what? A seed refinery? Oh, wait. That's impossible. Fuck that. Believe me, I didn't know. I would have never risked my men for those bastards. Never. You gotta believe me.
This has been the best parts of the entire game, is listening, and when I see a character that's not a mainstay in the game, the voice acting's a treat. Now in GunGrave, we get a little spice and variety of life when it comes to characters, and by little, I mean like little. This game has about 30 stages, I'm sorry, and you get to play a variety of 3 characters through them, I would say, but that's actually kind of a lie. You get 1 stage as Bungie, which is Wolfman. He was by far the best playing character in this game, to me, personally. Then we get a level as Quartz, and she was the worst thing I have ever experienced. She was a melee character who had a one-shot shooting gun, which was her arm that froze everything, but it had the problem of spawning projectiles in front of her as bullets. See where we're going with this? When you're in melee range, like you should be with her, the projectiles will spawn behind the enemy instead in front. It was a waste of time. On top of that, she had actual platforming. This game is not built around platforming. This is the most janky jump I've ever seen. I've never seen a jump, I've never felt a jump that made me feel like I lost control of my character when I did it. The only way I can actually land these is if I jump and then move in the air, because if I ran and jump, I either overshot it or extremely overshot it. There was never a undershot in that predicament. We cannot use these characters to play through the base game and play through it again. This game, you get 1 stage as Bungie, 1 stage as Quartz, and a 2-minute room as Bungie at the very end. I am not joking. A combined play total of maybe 22 minutes. The last thing we have to get to are the bosses, which are easily the best and the worst parts to this game. By worst part, I mean only one. His name's Gonpo. I'm convinced this man is broken. Best part in the being, you get to actually think. It's no longer mindless shooting everything that moves and doesn't. You have to think, hey, I need to dodge this. I need to jump out of the way of this move. I need to shoot him specifically here for maximum damage, maximum beats, or I have to try to parry. By try to parry, I mean literally try to parry, because this game's biggest flaw to me, and that will never not get hate from me, is it doesn't have animation canceling. That makes no sense. You will routinely get into a moment where you're just unloading and you see a missile coming right at you, or a weapon or something that you need to parry, but you can't because you're stuck in the animation of shooting people, and you watch as that missile just casually gets over to you and you spam the parry key and it just doesn't work. Or it dies right after the missile hits you. It's the stupidest shit. This comes to a head at the Gonpo boss that I hate so much. I am convinced that he is actually broken in his second phase. You will see that when I do mechanics, I get hit. When I literally do not do mechanics, I don't get hit. I don't understand. Makes me question if the dodge rolls ever actually worked, because I get hit by almost every laser, but then sometimes I don't. His hitbox is sometimes smaller than me, sometimes it's bigger than me, sometimes I feel like I don't have iframes, even though the game made me think I did have iframes, because it felt like I did. But now I guess I don't. I don't know if the dodge actually does anything. He almost ruined the entire game for me. I need to make it clear that I did enjoy like every other boss. I did get my ass handed to him for a little bit because I took the game as a fucking joke for most of the time, and then the boss has quickly humbled me. But then when I learned, like, oh, if I actually do the mechanics and not just shoot the boss, they're actually like really easy and they make me kind of think. I like puzzly bosses. Primarily, I love Souls games. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, neat. Then we met Gonpo, and then like the reasons I said, I hated myself. Even the final boss, he's just a simple puzzle fight. You don't even have to really try. He's actually probably the easiest boss in the entire game. GunGrave G.O.R.E was a uniquely, extremely mind-numbing game that I have ever experienced in my entire life, and I'm not completely sure if I hated it or if I somewhat enjoyed it, because mind-numbing as it is nice sometimes to turn off your brain and just do something for 10 minutes. That's as much as the game has to offer. I can't even fault the devs, because they had way more respect for this franchise than I will ever have. It's seen through the animations themselves for Grave. It's insane the amount of effort they put in those. And they even mimic the animations from the first game almost to a T. It's almost perfect. And I'm pretty sure these weren't cut. There's no way I think they got the original code to the game. I'm pretty sure they had to remake these from scratch. And to me, that's pretty impressive. I just don't think that the gameplay from the PS2 era of GunGrave holds up to modern standards. That's all I can really say. This game is also free on Games Pass. So if you'd like to try it there. I would not spend more than $20 on this game, so I would wait for a heavy discount otherwise. The game's a fucking Devil May Cry 2 again! God damn it, dude! It's like we can't escape this shit! Fucking 10 out of 5!